Hello, hello, hello. It is 12:30 on a Thursday. So I am with you. I am Dr. Stephanie Fine, and I am the chief physician at Maintenance University, where you get to learn how to prevent weight gain. Once you've lost your weight, you come here and we help you keep it off for life, no matter how you lost it. And we are talking about, there is a lot to talk about with what we're going through now, which is the coronavirus and staying at home. And at first, a couple weeks ago, we did how to cope without eating everything in sight. Emotional eating is a huge issue right now. It is a perfect time to learn how to stop doing it. You can. It's like a intensive, and you can do that. If you go to stephaniefinemd.com/cope, you can get the workbook and you can work through it. So it is so important right now. The next one was preventing cabin fever, which is another thing that is going to be important. These are mental ways that we're dealing with what's going on. And today we're talking about a physical one, which is resistance training. So that's the punchline. it's keeping your muscle mass. And so here's what's so important about that. If it's now been a couple weeks that I'm in Southern California, that we've been stay at home. And if you had a regular gym, you go to the gym a couple times a week, or you did yoga or whatever it was, and now you cannot, that is a big change. So the first thing is, if you come home and let's say you stopped doing your yoga. If you notice that you've been losing weight, it's likely the muscle that you built up during that yoga time. So if you've been doing a resistance training, which is like a Pilates, a yoga, weightlifting, bands, calisthenics, anything like that, if you had been doing that regularly and now you're not doing that because you're home, the weight you're losing, especially if you notice a steady decrease, is muscle mass. And we do not want that. Oh my goodness, no. So I am begging you to do some sort of resistance training while you're sequestered. And a couple ways you can do that. You certainly can do it on your own, but in today's Ounce of Prevention, I shared my story of I've been doing Pilates for a year and a half, and I thought, oh, no problem. I know the planks. I know that. I did not do a thing. It is very hard for me to get myself to do a plank because I don't like it. That's basically what it is. It's hard for me. I'm not great at it. I mean, I can do it and I'm building, and certainly Pilates has helped me over the year and a half. Oh my goodness. I am so much stronger, which is why I'm converted. Like, I want everyone to do resistance training. And it's just one of those things that's really hard for me unless I have a teacher or a buddy or someone that I have promised that I'm going to be with. And that is what I'm recommending to you. If you have a regular resistance training exercise in place, please continue to do something so that when this is all over and you start back up, you will start back up probably less strong than you ended before you got here, but at least it won't be at nothing. And let me tell you something, deconditioning is terrible. This is what always goes through my mind. My mother passed away 5 years ago, but at the end, she had broken one hip, well, anyway, whatever, it was a leg, but she got herself back, and then she broke the second one, and that was like really mentally that she was sort of done. But what happened was she had zero interest in gaining strength back, and I cannot tell you how fast that went. I mean, to the point where she could not lift her arm and she didn't break her arm. When you do nothing, your body responds by shrinking. Really, that's what happens. And I don't want that to happen to you. Now, my mother's example is extremely extreme, but it happens like that on a smaller level. And the piece that happens with metabolism is this, a lot of your metabolism is in your muscles. A lot of it is in your organs, and there's nothing you're going to do about that. So you have a baseline metabolism, but your muscles contribute to it. So if you are building muscle, you are keeping your metabolism up. But when you lose muscle, like if you stopped doing resistance training in these last 3 weeks, you're losing some of your metabolism. So even if you're eating the same amount, it's now those few calories are turning to fat. And of course that compounds. Now, the really interesting thing is after we start losing muscle mass, when we're little, we build muscle mass. In our 20s, it starts to decline. And by the age of 40, we are losing, this is incredible to me, 1% of your total body muscle mass every year. Just by being around, like that's just the way we age. So if you're not doing some sort of resistance training on a regular basis, you're losing muscle mass every year. And when you're building your muscle mass, you're even just maintaining it. And then of course you can build further. So it is so important. And when people are losing weight and maintaining their weight loss, during weight loss, the food is the most important thing. But in maintenance, exercise becomes important, and resistance training is just, I just find it to be one of the most important things. I have a little soapbox on it, and like a lot of it is because of my mother, but also because I noticed that I was opening a jar. I could not open a jar, and I thought, well, that's not good. So I started doing Pilates. It's made an enormous difference. Of course, muscles also look prettier than fat. Have you ever seen those they're like plastic toys. One's smooth red muscle and one's lumpy yellow fat. The two together are obviously different. So the smooth one that's solid looks amazing, and the lumpy fat does not look good, with skin over that. So there's so many reasons to do it. And what I like to mention is, if you contact local studios, like let's say you like yoga or let's say you like Pilates, a lot of them are doing Zoom classes now. And they're fantastic, and they're just what you need to maintain what you had during this time. Because remember, you're going to go back to regular life in a couple months. And so you can do it then. But you can check out the teachers if you're just starting. I highly recommend starting if you haven't done it. And if you have been doing it and you stopped, please restart. Okay, so this is the main issue here, is muscle is important. If you're losing weight during this time, which I'll tell you, my clients are losing weight. It's fantastic. And it's not because they're not doing the resistance training, because you better believe they are. It's because they're not going out to eat so much. It makes such a difference. There are so many things in terms of weight and health that are beneficial during this hard time, which is getting reacquainted with cooking, seeing the benefits, like how little you need to eat. Because restaurants have, first of all, they make more, their portions are much bigger than usually at home. And also the way they make it is just with more calories. So sort of naturally, we can lose weight if we're not emotionally eating at home. So this is a very interesting time to get a resistance training going, getting your home meals in place, and then you can actually lose weight during this time and easily keep it off, because you'll have some fantastic habits. So that's what I wanted to tell you. The last thing is there's something called Fitness Blender. Blender, like to make margaritas, a blender, fitnessblender.com. They have a ton of free workouts with videos, and it's incredible. I was just on it. You can do it by, I want a 5-minute free video that shows me how to strengthen my legs, and poof, you have like 10 to choose from. It's really amazing. Fitnessblender.com. So sign up, keep going, use your accountability strategy, meaning make schedule a time. It's more likely to happen if you do that. Schedule a buddy or a teacher. It's much more likely to happen if you do that. So that's how important it is, at least 2 times a week for resistance training, along with drinking water and getting your sleep and doing all the other things that you're doing, eating well. Okay? And that's for your health, your body, and then for the future when we're done with this part of our worldly experience. Well, that sounds like you're passing away. You know what I'm saying? Like when we're done with having to be home and we're back out in the world, a lot of these habits we'll be able to take with us, and that will be very important. Ask me questions on this post. I'm so happy to answer them. I hope you are doing exceptionally well, and I'm looking to help you feel even better, thriving during this time. And I'm sending you so much love. Bye for now.